Good evening, all. Okay, so before I get into the game, I would need to test something for a future stream just because I have extra people to listen and tell me if this is working or not. So what I want to do is have my friend Neil be a guest voice for a future case, and I just want to test to make sure that Discord will, like the Discord audio will pick up on stream as well. And once I've got, there you are. Oh hey, Neil, you're muted.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Hello.
So hey, is Neil like audible? Is it picking up my my Discord audio here too?
Yeah. I mean, I was hearing you stream.
Okay, because I mean, like Okay, yes, it's working. Okay, cool. I was pretty sure it was gonna work just because, like, the stream has picked up my Discord notifications before when I forgot to go on mute. Or, like, do a disturb or whatever. So I was pretty sure it was gonna work and I wasn't gonna have to fuck with, like, making, like, separating the audio out and whatever. Okay, so that's all we really needed to test.
Yeah, I'm glad that there's...
Okay. So, if you want to give us your best Zavari before we get out.
Oh no, I've been practicing, but I don't know what I can... No, I can't do it. I'm
okay, we'll save it as a surprise for when you your guest voicing.
It has to be in the moment.
Okay, I got you. Alright, thanks for coming by, Neil. I'll see you again real soon.
Yep, I will be in the...
Alright. That's all we needed. Oh my god, Keelan! Oh my god, this is gonna be a good stream tonight. Okay. I just needed to test, Discord audio for the future. But now we say goodbye and fuck you to our dear client, Matt Engarde. How did I get into this mess? You can't run forever, Mr. Phoenix, right? I'm guessing that's the, oh yeah, it's the judge again. What have I done wrong? I cannot allow you to go on like this. I'm just a simple defense attorney. Silence! You are no longer worthy of your title. I'm going to squish you like a bug. Splat. I've had this dream before. Someplace. Some time ago. As if this day was written into my destiny. Today I'll stand in court as a lawyer. To prove a killer innocent. But he's like, God, I wish Richard Wellington would show up and clock me on the head with a fire extinguisher again. Hello, this is Phoenix Wright. You don't look so well, dude. You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? If you please, Mr. Lawyer. Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too.
Now listen up. You'd better get Engarde a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you, ever!
Maya. Phoenix?
Phoenix! Mia! Maya! How's Maya? I don't know. You don't know? She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday. Mia, what? What am I supposed to do? Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But you can't give up. There's still some hope left. Stop it, please. There's nothing left. Not here, not anywhere. But there is the Steel Samurai ringtone. It's that accursed Engarde again. Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it. You're really mean, pal. Gumshoe! I'm really sorry. Where are you? They let me join the investigation team. We're chasing after Tequila, pal. Then, you have some sort of lead? Sorry, but right now we've got 0 leads on the guy. But we're not gonna give up. Gumshoe, until the trial is over, until the verdict is handed down, we're gonna do everything we can and find Tequila. If we can get Maya out, then you can get Engarde the guilty verdict he deserves, pal. That's true. I could do that if they found Maya first. You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer. I have to make the trial last longer? If you go at Mr. Edgeworth with everything you've got, then you two can draw it out. Ah, now I get it. I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it. So, believe in us. We're gonna give it all we got, just like you. Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. Hey, Phoenix. You understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. Oh, thanks, Mia. That would be so helpful if this was like a TV Y7 anime. But it's not. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance. Yeah! Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through, I know it. The court is now in session for the trial of Fmatt Engarde. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. God, if Phoenix could scare the murderers into submission with the power of friendship. Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being, what exactly was Ms. Adrian Andrews' role in this murder? That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. Engarde, and then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. Trials take 10 minutes. The guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape. Then you're saying that she is guilty after all? I'm not finished, Your Honor. Ms. Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? It looks like a shell. This is the calling card of a certain assassin. Assassin, you say? Yes. Juan Corrido was killed by a professional assassin, and the person who hired the assassin, his client, so to speak, is Fmatt Engarde. Shit, Edgeworth! That's the opposite of what I wanted you to do. What a surprising turn of events! I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on this time. So I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can. At least, until Maya's safe and sound. I wonder how the trial will turn out today.
And now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. Why are you saying mentor like... all sarcastic-like? You know he's the Steel Samurai, you should revere him as such. But yay, it's my favorite man in the whole world. Silly Willy Powers. Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please. Oh, okay. I'm, Will Powers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star. And what is your relation to the defendant? Well, that's... I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way. Yeah.
Mr. Powers, please, you don't need to put yourself down so much.
Oh, sorry. Well, but, I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy. On the night of the murder, you'd visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes. I didn't know that. But you know, I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went. All you need to do is answer what you're asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. Engarde's room. Okay, sure. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his Nickel Samurai costume. He was talking with someone. At first I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me. Oh, he's such a polite host.
Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony.
And talking with the bellboy is no big deal. If one assumes that the person Mr. Engarde was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy...
What are you implying?
Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we? Looks like we're in another sticky situation. Huh? A trap! Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're just going to have to charge in head first, right? Yeah, I guess that means us, like Maya and Pearl and Phoenix and... No, Gumshoe wasn't with them, he just showed up after there was a murder. God, please, like... Has someone edited, like, Mia's possession sprites to give her, like, a little sweater, or maybe just, like, a couple extra fastens on that kimono? Okay, went to Matt's room. Matt was wearing his costume, talking to the bellboy. I watched them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. Okay, but, like, what did you see? You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant together, correct? Yeah. The bellboy just wanted to say congrats. Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange? You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt... Well, he gave the bellboy a tip. A tip? That's a perfectly normal thing to do. No, I mean he gave him the tip.
So, how long did you watch the two of them?
Not more than a minute or two, I think. Okay. I had guessed it could make the point for me. I thought it was the bellboy. At first? What do you mean by that? I didn't think he was a normal bellboy. And why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? Mickey is in a mood tonight. He keeps barking at nothing. He's barking at, like, the essence d'Engarde that's emanating from your computer. How am I supposed to know? Hey, wait a second. Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago you stated... you know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt... Well, he gave the bellboy a tip. Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself? Ah! Yeah, that's it! You really know your job!
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor?
This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he?
Perhaps we should let the witness tell us.
Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony.
You mean about the bellboy, right? Matt gave the bellboy a tip. A little sussy. So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that? Well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the... Shit, I totally messed up his cadence here. I was trying to figure out how much it was, because the tip really shocked me. How much it was? But that's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket. And that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked.
I'm afraid I don't follow at all.
It sounds like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. I wonder which of his shocking moments I should ask about. Let's talk about Engarde's tip. Because, I mean, having that, like, stitched up face that the killer does isn't enough to suspect him of anything besides having been in a horrible accident. The defendant is a huge star. He can afford to give generous tips, wouldn't you agree? Okay, actually, let's do that now. Let's talk about Engarde's tip. I think Mia should put on a sweater, and I think Matt should lose the racing jacket. Sure. But giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think. A little too much? Would you please clarify for the court about how much you would say the defendant gave to the bellboy? Honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess.
And why is that?
Because he gave the bellboy a really, really fat roll of cash. A roll of cash? He gave him a bunch of singles? And said, hey, come on, take off that snazzy little suit and tie. Dance around for me a little. I'm Matt Engarde. I can make people do whatever I want.
Well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it?
A very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor. He gave him 40 bucks in ones. I was like, yeah, take that to the coin star down at Kroger. Matt Engarde evil rap moments. The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. I'm going to object to being looked at as sus. The defendant is a superstar! That kind of tip is typical fare for people like him! Are you saying that all superstars are super spenders? If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting? Because you're rolling in that Von Karma inheritance? Duh. He's got a point. I don't even get paid, let alone rolls of cash for all my hard work.
So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it?
Payment, Your Honor.
Payment?
Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida.
Then the bellboy the witness saw...
Yes, he was the assassin. I love how, like, Will Powers, like, his like, full body sprite from the back, it has his, like, he's kind of knock-kneed, like, he's all timid and nervous even though he's, like, 6'50", and has the face of a Wolverine. Literally, he is probably the most moe character in all of Ace Attorney, and we've all been sleeping on him since 2001.
Hold your horses now. Mr. Edgeworth, you don't have any proof of this, do you?
Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelley DeKiller left at the scene of the crime.
Shelley DeKiller?
He is the person the police's special investigations team has been chasing for ages. I am certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley DeKiller. Really?
What's wrong, Mr. Powers?
No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head, and I think I just figured something out.
Oh?
Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night. What?
Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw.
Yes, sir. Right away. This time, I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Corrida's room. And now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kinda out of place. Yeah! So he had to be the assassin. I'm sure of it. Would you like to share your bad thought with the class, Neil? I mean... Well, thank you very much. That is all we need for now. Huh? But I'm not done. There's still more. Yonder Matt on guard. We're gonna pretend you didn't say that, okay? Everybody wipe that from your mind. So, let us first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. DeKiller. Then we shall see.
So the bellboy came out of the victim's room, and if that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious.
That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh.
Fuck you.
This is no laughing matter. Mia, I was laughing sarcastically. Didn't you hear it in my voice? I was taunting him. Okay. So, let's go to the part where you said the bellboy seemed out of place. So what exactly was so out of place about him? Right. Why the insipid grin? Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's going to say next. Well, the bellboy was empty-handed. Empty-handed? That bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart, and he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange too, wouldn't you?
I agree that is a bit strange, Mr. Powers.
But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide, or try to pull a fast one? There's nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy. But there really is. I love playing this after playing PL versus AA, like, my god, the witnesses actually have brains. God, everything I see you mention about this game makes me so much more excited to play it. There really isn't! If you two are done being school children, bellboys offer room service. There is no reason for them to be empty-handed, ever. Oh my god, can't a dude just, like, take a quick walk up and down the hallway and get his steps in for the day? Edgeworth, I think you're kind of a bitch for this. I mean, not as much of a bitch as you were for, like, airing Adrian Andrews' entire, like, mental health history out in front of everyone, but this is still kind of bitchy. And not even in, like, a funny, like, oh my god, he's such a bitch, like, funny way. It's just, you're a dickhead, and if I met you on the street, I'd be inclined to, like, try and stick my leg out and trip you. Your Honor, I ask that the witness's previous statement be supplanted with this new one. Edgeworth, are you going to do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious? Edgeworth is actually a dick in this trial. I mean, yeah, they spend the whole rest of the, like, at least the two previous cases being like, oh my god, where's Edgeworth? Edgeworth is dead. And Phoenix is like, don't fucking mention the name around me ever again, and then he comes back and he's like, simultaneously, like, twice as much of a bitch as he ever was, and also way nicer to Phoenix specifically, and Phoenix is just so oblivious to it. He's just like, no, I don't want your help. No, I don't want your constipated, it's like, analogy to a love confession in the form of helping you with this case and trying to rescue Maya.
I see.
Ha! Gay!
Very well, this court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please.
Yes, sir. I thought it was kinda strange for a bellboy to come out of a guest room empty-handed. Okay. But I don't think he did come out empty-handed. I think he was delivering the... Is this it? No, that's not it. Where's the photo I'm looking for? Yeah, I think he was delivering the tomato juice that filled that wine glass. Mr. Powers? Yes? You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true. But isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and... So, a baseball has stitches, as does a custom-made baseball glove for a left-handed man that's colored bright yellow. Are you saying that all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? Well, there's also, I mean, what about him being empty-handed? I would like to ask the court to please take a look here. Phoenix, this is the stupidest argument. He's got a grasp for straws here. He's trying to, he's like, this is the point where you're trying to draw it out, like, for as long as possible. So he's got to make some uncharacteristically stupid even for him type arguments.
This is the crime scene.
There is a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Creeder's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And as we all know, tomatoes were indigenous to the Americas and were only brought over to Europe in in the 14th century. God, that'd actually be hilarious if, like, he just starts, like, simply for stalling purposes, just rhapsodizing on and on about, like, tomatoes or tomato juice or whatever the hell else is visible in this photo. And now, if you look at what is on top of the table in the lower right corner here, anyone can clearly see that it is a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Kurita's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left.
But that would mean the bellboy had seen and left a dead body in the room.
But can you prove that Mr. Kurita was already dead at the time?
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes?
I blame you for leading me down this route.
I'm terribly sorry. What is with him? Why is he laughing? Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us? Is there? The bellboy was empty-handed, or should I say, empty-handed. I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands. Oh, yeah! I almost forgot. Huh? What? That bellboy, he was wearing gloves. Gloves? Yeah, pitch black leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right?
Black leather gloves. Sounds pretty sexy. Why didn't you mention them earlier? I could have been imagining this handsome older man in a suit and tie with black leather gloves on in addition.
Sorry, it slipped my mind. Boy, does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus. I can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves. Yeah, I think we should all be shipping, Jelly to Killer. Come on, Mr. Wright! That bellboy was wearing black leather ones! So? A football is made of leather. Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they're made of leather? Okay, why the hell is he going so hard on, like, the sports analogies here? I didn't really pick him as a jock.
But that man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant, and then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe he was just another bellboy.
Ugh. It seems that we have finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony.
The rest? Oh yes, please, tell us more.
Okay. Aw, he's so excited to have his time in the spotlight. Okay, their second meeting. After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door, just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left, without even going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat.
So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room?
Yeah, I kinda saw all that by accident. Some accident? I'd say you saw too much!
And all of it was suspicious to high heaven. I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Yes, I would even go as far as to declare him abnormal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, okay, so what did he gave something to the person inside the room. Like, okay, so was that Matt? And what exactly was he giving him? Wow, so like Shelly to killer shipping is real? I said, hold it! Okay. That's better. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details. Oh, Shelly and Wendy hold back. I mean, sure, her straps are probably huge. Get it, old man. Oh, okay. Huh. I should probably ask him only one question at a time. Okay, ask about the person inside. So who took this something the bellboy handed off? Actually, I don't know. What do you mean? Shelly and Dee Vasquez, what are they, like, bonding over killing global studio stars? I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm? Then you're saying you didn't see the person's face? Yeah. Well, it was Mr. Engarde's room, correct? So it could have only been Mr. Engarde himself, I'd say. And then? What did the bellboy do after that? Oh, so after he... Shit, you're not... Oh, shit, sorry guys, I'm playing the judge in my next TV role. And I wanted to get into some method acting. So after he gave the person inside the room the thing... No, I need to press that again and ask the other question. Okay, let's do this again. Ask about this something. He gave something to this person? Yeah. And what was this something? If I remembered what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I? But this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers? Luke, be a gentleman and thank Phoenix, said Layton. Okay, shit, Layton, I just got here, said Luke. That was Luke Triton swearing. Okay, here's food for thought. How would each Layton game be improved if you just inserted, like, the PG-13 allowable singular fuck into the dialogue of each game? Like, where would you put it for maximum impact? I think it was something kinda small. I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm. Yes, it was just like that. Mr. Edworth, is all this really that important? Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Just change Layton's famous catchphrase into, and fuck if that person isn't you, for every single game. I'm thinking, like, the very, very last scene of Unbound Future where Luke's going, I'm sorry, Professor. I'm just not ready to be a fucking gentleman yet.
Mr. Bowers, please, try to remember what it was the little boy handed off.
Well, let's see. I think it was... No.
If you remember, please add it to your testimony.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If I saw it again, I could say for sure, but I think it was some sort of wooden statue.
That seems odd. Would it be this? That's made of wood.
What was the point of that pregnant pause?
Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up.
I think Clive's actually blessed. And Leighton, one more thing. Fuck you from the mobile fortress. It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this. Yeah, a pregnant pause is a type of pause where, like, no one's saying everything, but everyone, or at least one person, like, really, really wants to say something, but they're just not. And everyone else can, like, sense it, like, the anticipation in the air. Like, this pause is essentially about to give birth to some very important revelation or declaration or what have you.
Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw, was it this item? Oh, hey! That's it! That's the something! Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out. I recall we found this at Fmatt Engarde's mansion.
At the defendant's house? What does this mean?
It's simple, Your Honor. Shelley the Killer assassinated Juan Corrida in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime.
Then, the bear being found at Fmatt Engarde's mansion would mean...
It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Fmatt Engarde is the killer's client. Venus, you're really darted up this time. I love that, like, the one time he's trying to actually draw out a trial, it's like everything's going to point exactly towards the correct verdict.
Mr. Wright, this is a most unfortunate turn of events for you.
Yeah. Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have. Ah, I almost forgot that he knew about it too.
I think it is clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial.
I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please. Or perhaps several.
Yes, Mr. Wright.
There's still a few points left that we have not fully explored. What are you trying to pull?
Oh. Well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright. What questionable point would you like to explore further?
Let's see... The person who received the bear. There was one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear. He gave something to the person inside the room. I want Phoenix to start talking about gay bears to stall for time. And then, he's like, I would like to direct the court's attention to this exhibit. And it's like, that triangle chart that's like the bear twink hunk alignment with all of, like, the the subset identities within, depending on like what sector you would define a person as. It's like the one that has like, it's like twinkish hunk, bearish hunk, like all the variations thereupon, basically. And he just starts like being like, okay, so far we've talked to these witnesses who would all fall on this side of the chart. Are you saying bears are suspicious, Your Honor? That's a little homophobic of you, especially during Pride Month. I mean, I know it's March in this game, but it's June in the real world. I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure of— What the fuck? Sorry.
What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Actually, so, I remembered. I remembered who took the bear. What?
Really?
I mean, I only saw his arm, but the arm, it was the Nickel Samurai's arm. I swear it. That's a pretty distinct arm to be like,
I don't remember it. That literally could have been anybody.
You've got to be kidding! Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai.
It looks like you've dug your own grave. Yet again.
How many times is that today? I've lost count. Time to talk about costumes again, and prove for like the umpteenth time that just because you saw a person in a costume doesn't mean it was the person who is typically known for wearing that specific costume. So, the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And, as we all know, Fmatt Engarde is the Nickel Samurai. And no one else could wear that costume ever.
Thanks to the defense, we've made that all the clearer.
What am I supposed to do now? Mia, help! You don't have time to act lost. You've got to find another angle to attack this from. Hurry! Your Honor?
Again, Mr. Wright, we've already removed any and all questionable areas of this testimony.
It's about time you were removed from this court, Mr. Wright. I have to find something. Even one more little point will do. There are still questions left unanswered. What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, so we're back to this. So we've already discussed the person who received the bear. Let's talk about the bear itself.
I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable.
The bear? Mr. Wright?
This was found at Mr. Engarde's mansion. However, Mr. Engarde was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he's not had a chance to go home.
Oh!
I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It is not possible that it was Mr. Engarde who took this bear to his mansion.
Why, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken this bear home.
Whew. Disaster averted, fucker. You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. Huh? I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Engarde's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There is no way for him to escape. I can't believe it. That butler. All this time, he was De Killer. De Killer and Engarde were working together, so to speak. And the killer was hiding at Engarde Mansion as its butler.
What a bold move.
The bear figurine was brought back to Engarde Mansion by the killer himself. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, Engarde had him do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now.
This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all? I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was who received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt Engarde. I see no reason for this trial to continue. Therefore, I will now hand down my verdict.
Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you?
I knew it would turn out this way.
Okay, but here's like this weird sticking point for me, like, doesn't Edgeworth know that Maya's life is in danger here? Because it seems like he's pushing towards the guilty verdict for Engarde no matter what. He doesn't seem to be on the same page as far as, like, lengthening the trial that Phoenix is for the sake of, like, rescuing Maya. Because, like, Edgeworth should know that, like, the whole, like, the killer investigative squad, whatever, is out there trying to rescue Maya as we speak. So I feel like he would be... I don't know, maybe he's just, like, subtle about it, but I know, like, the realistic answer is he's just being a dickhead. He's just... Which is weird, because he seems so concerned about Maya's well-being as soon as Phoenix told him. He was like, I will spare no expense to make sure that my little samurai watching buddy is found. And now he's like, if Maya dies, it's no skin off my back. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth.
Any last objections, Mr. Wright?
Well, do I? What should I do?
Yeah, objection time. I will now announce my objection!
There's only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is this one dirty trick. Your Honor, right now, we have these two reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number one, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number two, that very same figurine was found at Engarde Mansion. However, it's possible this is all the work of a certain other person.
What are you saying?
What I am saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client.
The real client?
Yes. Tisk, tisk. Is this all you have?
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the killer's real client, and therefore the real murderer?
I'm so sorry, lesbians. I gotta do... The game dictates that I have to do this.
Adrian Andrews?
Yes. We already know that she tried to frame Matt Engarde for the crime. By wearing the spare nickel samurai costume. Ah! Then the nickel samurai's arm that I saw... That could very well have been Miss Andrews. This fucking case is like it's not even about, like, I don't know, two men having a weird homoerotic rivalry that ends in one of them dead. It's just, this fucking case is just about making Adrian Andrews' life hell.
But what about Mr. Engarde?
Hi, Kara. If you could please recall yesterday's testimony. The defendant was taking a nap during the break period.
That's right. Then, finding this figurine at Mr. Engarde's mansion...
It was a well-laid trap set by Ms. Andrews. Oh no, like the first time I played this game, I was like, this case specifically, I was like, shit, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. This is contradictory to everything I have learned about this gameplay and as a lawyer in the context of this video game. Like, here I am questioning my own morals, much like Phoenix is his own.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this?
I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic. Besides which, there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either.
What is worth this trial?
Yeah, okay, whatever, they're saying shit. This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on. PL versus AA does the bullshit these trials thing much better because there's a whole framework of bullshit you get to learn. Ah, there's a bullshit skill tree.
All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom.
Your Honor, for the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game.
His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did specially bring that bear to Engarde right away. Your Honor, we are gay. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely.
He's so cute, and he's got these little red pantaloons on it. It's just so precious, right? I want him on my desk with my flower arrangement that also has a cravat and my $5,000 steel samurai scale figure.
And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews.
And who would that be?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself.
I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time.
Yes, Your Honor. Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt onto Adrian. I swear this demon will pay. Mr. Nick! Okay, Pearl, go beat him up now. Pearls? Where's Mia?
I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away.
A really strong power? Oh, must be my cell phone.
Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is...
It's from Gumshoe! I like to think he's standing here in the lobby totally unhinged, and the guards are like, wait a second, isn't that... If I were in this situation, I would simply shoot Engarde with my laser beams. How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal? Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Phew, that's good, pal. And what about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where Tequila and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time! If we just had one, Even a single clue would be really helpful. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued.
Sir, you can't have food or drinks in the courthouse.
Don't worry, it's lighter fluid.
Oh, that's fine. Wait. What?
But have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent!
Huh? A tent? I like that more than my chalky milk theory.
I could see a circus tent.
Mia! It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now. But I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away.
God, what fucking is it with Ace Attorney culprits and holding people hostage in or around the Big Berry Circus?
Gumshoe! Is there a circus in town right now?
There's only one, pal. The Berry Big Circus.
Maya's somewhere within a 300-foot radius of the main tent.
What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal.
Hey! Draw a circle on that map, about a 300-foot radius from the main tent. Hurry! And I could see a mailbox under the window, just outside. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox.
Okay, what else?
What else, Mia? I'm sorry, but it was a very small window, and I couldn't see anything else. I felt like I was in an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so.
I heard her! An office building! Good stuff, pal. Okay, just hang in there. Just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck.
Good luck!
I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal?
Mia! Maya's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer.
What year does this case happen? March 23rd, 12:05 p.m. Shit, I don't remember, actually. I truly do not. Well, if the end of the end of Bridge to the Turnabout is in 2019, so this is probably like 17 or 18. Yeah. Oh yes, it's March, so it's probably 2018. Court will now reconvene. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real culprit. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. Do you think if you cock-blocked Apollo Justice's dad from, like, getting with Thalassa, would that be considered obstruction of justice? Like in a Back to the Future kind of way, where you're preventing the birth of Apollo entirely? Is that obstruction of justice? Siphon is at least 5 years old. He used to keep it plugged in onto the other side, the one outlet on the other side of the courtroom. Whenever it rings, he used to jog over awkwardly and answer it. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder.
I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have.
You have seen it before?
That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court as to this bear's secrets?
That's such a funny sentence.
This Alright. Why? Why does she... Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. Okay, time to get the professor in here as an expert witness to solve the puzzle for us. Could you please enlighten us to this bear's secrets? Susie begging Shutakumi to expand Willpower's lore. Honestly, I feel lucky enough that he's in 3 of the currently 6 main Ace Attorney games. Well, never mind. 3. He's in 2 of the main games and 1 spin-off. Maybe that should be enough for me. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it.
So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it?
Yes. Looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, this is superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
It looks like there really was something to that bear after all. Alright, our first order of business. Press every single statement. A puzzle? That's right.
But it looks like an ordinary figurine.
True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly? If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. So you can take it apart? And how would one go about doing that? Well, you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in.
Oh, yes, I see.
After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed.
Ooh, this is most interesting.
Our boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again.
Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on.
Hello? Game? I think he's lost it. So what do you find after you take the puzzle apart? Just enough room to store a small item. And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland.
Then this was a present from you?
That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Juan. So it was a present from Ms. Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the 2 of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are that many people with the same bear in this country.
But this looks like it can be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside.
Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same again once it's been broken. Put on the counter, I'll be out there, so. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box?
I never told anyone. And as long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew.
The two of you, huh? Then of course that means Mr. Engarde didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. Alright, figurine updated. Only Corita and Andrews knew how to open it. Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize... Huh? Not a damn thing, Edgeworth. There's one very important fact we have uncovered, and that it is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there's only one logical question that could come next, and that is this. What is inside this box?
What's inside?
That's right. That's what we are going to find out next. Witness?
Yes?
You're the only one who can open this. Please. There's a painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now, as she solves the puzzle, and takes the bear word. I've opened it. Is this what you wanted?
What is that? It looks like a note.
I don't think we need to guess at what that is. Do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note.
The suicide note.
The suicide note left by Juan Corita's former manager, Celeste Impacts. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts. But just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Corita himself. God fucking damn it, leave Adrian alone! It seems Celeste Impacts had very beautiful handwriting, and she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitively the note she left right before she committed suicide.
Witness, did you know about this?
Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public. But I couldn't find it anywhere.
Because it had already been taken by the killer.
Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question?
What is written on the note?
That's right. At least, that's what I would think.
Now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of this note be made known. In public court, you asshole?
I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it. And I was going to burn it, for her sake.
I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. But you could be persuaded. That's what you're saying. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud.
Very well.
The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Impacts left to us a record of all that had happened to her. About being used and then thrown away by Engarde. About being engaged to Corita and Engarde's role in destroying that. And about how she decided, in her despair, to end it all.
And that's all Miss Impacts had to say.
There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Engarde. If you did have an interest in that, I think that would be perfectly fine.
Then what?
Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness?
Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference.
My word! Engarde values, above all else, his refreshing like a spring breeze image. I have interest. I have massive interest in slandering Scat Engarde. Yeah. Good old poopy face Engarde. Which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. Alright, Celeste's suicide note added to the court record. Found inside. Horrible time for a laugh track. But you know what? It's so horrible, it's funny. Found inside the figurine. It tells of Engarde's horrible misdeeds. I know you're laughing at Scat Engarde, but like Celeste's suicide note. Ah! There's no room for doubt here. Mr. DeKiller's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note, and the only person who needed this note that badly was the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house. It seems that we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. Ugh. How am I supposed to escape from this one?
Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do.
I know. I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay. There are two deadly pieces of evidence. The figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of the situation through one of those. Do you think the judge has ever done, like, the grade school teacher method of silencing the courtroom by just going, like sitting at your desk, like, well, sitting at the bench, I guess, like, all primly going,
I'll wait.
Maybe somehow I can find a way out of the situation through one of those.
The gavel is already in the judge's hand. Phoenix, hurry!
The suicide note or the figurine? Which one of these should I pursue? I think it's the suicide note. Objection! Please wait, Your Honor. I think Your Honor believes that Fmatt Engarde killed in order to obtain this note. Yes, that is correct. But that seems a little strange. In fact, I think there is a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Kurita until the night of the murder. If that is the case, I'd say that Fmatt Engarde could not have known what was written on this note. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Exactly. But I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. No one in their right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said. You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one.
Unfortunately, I think he believes differently.
I believe a show of appreciation is in order. Huh? The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. Okay. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is that? It is a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. Spying? What the? I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Fmatt Engarde and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And? The victim, Juan Kurita, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Fmatt Engarde. Ahem!
Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities.
Well, sort of.
Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright.
I see you are confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was stuffed in the bear's... I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not the same one. Last night, I searched the victim's house on a hunch, using this Gumshoe's Bug Sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera.
Engarde's fingerprints were on there?
Well, Phoenix, it looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence?
I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. Engarde learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along.
You got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Mommy, is that man the bad killer guy? Shh! Stop! Don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so... ew. Nasty. Phoenix.
Yes, Chief?
Have you figured out what you're going to do next yet?
What I'm going to do next? Does running away like a frightened child work? Okay, I win. Maya dies now.
I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing.
Well, what is it, Mia?
There is a piece of evidence that he really should investigate.
Something he should investigate?
I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance.
Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden?
Alright, I think this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you?
What is this piece of evidence that Mia's talking about? Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be looked at? Or should I let it go? Alright, present evidence. I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright.
Objection!
Objection, motherfucker! Your Honor, the defense has no intention of letting this go so easily.
You're beginning to sound desperate.
That's just your imagination, Your Honor! Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing.
Hey, isn't that what I just said?
So, you're telling me that I forgot something? You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. Need to look at the note again.
That is Ms. Impax's suicide note, right?
Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside this bear. Sorry, Your Honor, she can't testify. It's nap time. But this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means... the handwriting on this suicide note has yet to be analyzed.
Whoa!
So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Ms. Impax or not, that has yet to be even remotely confirmed.
Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be suggesting...
Mr. Wright, are you saying the suicide note is a fake?
Ms. Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Engarde. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear? If Phoenix said pivotal piece of proof, I would have sniped him from the jury. Oh shit. At me moment. Got him in my sights.
How dare you!
Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There is no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Matt Engarde.
I did no such thing.
Right. If you're going to pronounce the suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. Objection, I don't have to. Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. Ugh. That's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on this suicide note? It is as the defense has stated, the handwriting has yet to be analyzed. If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible. That's impossible!
This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day.
I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate.
I think we have reached the end of the line.
Guilty, guilty, guilty. What is that sound? Sorry, Your Honor, if I could just, scooch past the witness here and get my phone from the charger over here. It's Gumshoe! It's Gumshoe, everyone. Hello? Gumshoe?
What is with him? What's with that sigh?
Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was some way to make it up to you. I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found his hideout, pal, but the two of them were already gone.
This is terrible.
I'm gonna keep looking for him, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time. But don't tell me we don't have any more. Do you hear that? They're calling for his head! Mr. Wright, I can't... for us to come this far and... Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I... can't do that. Oh my god, I know this part! This is one of the funniest things to happen in this game ever. Mr. Wright, could you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after. Hold on, Your Honor! Edgeworth! Catch! Take that! It'd be so much funnier if you, like, hit him, like, square in the forehead with it. Mr. Edgeworth! Please, you have to buy us some more time! Court is in session. Hang up. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying? Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but... I am reluctant to do this. However, it appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time, I really can't do anything. So no head? Court is now adjourned for the day. What the fuck? Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time.
But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes?
I believe we can, Your Honor. The handwriting analysis lab promises us 30 minutes or it's free.
But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for today and then reconvene tomorrow?
30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. When he isn't 100% willing to let your sister die. Aww. Please, Your Honor!
Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised, I will not allow another recess today.
I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us.
The court will now take its final recess of the day.
Right. Well, what's going on with my situation? It's a killer. Looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time. Ugh. Report! Is that Mr. Edgeworth? We don't have time. Just spit it out. Right. It looks like we just missed him, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away. A few things? Can we use any of them as evidence? Oh, I thought you'd ask, pal. I've got the things he left with me right now and I'm on my way over. Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first. We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir! When those guys weren't looking, I swept the stuff and ran! What? Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I gotta put the law on hold for now. Ooh, yes, King! Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get into too much trouble over this. With my hunk of junk car, I say I'd be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me. Alright, just get here in one piece. I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir! No one! I'm pulling out all the stops and running every red light! Items left by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. Oh shit! I forgot just like the conga line of bullshit that happens in this trial. Hey? What's wrong? Detective Gumshoe? Answer me! No one can stop me! I'm sure he's fine, though. What happened? It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What was he thinking? We've gotta hurry and call for help! But we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. No! We can't let that happen! Well, if there is a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why, oh why did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? There is a way. That's right, there is a way! What? How? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this. Person! Why are you bringing up Francisca at a time like... Oh! I see! I'll try to get in contact with her. The chances are slim, but she's all we have. Francisca? Will she even want to help us? Edgeworth? What is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty. But what I'm doing now... I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right. It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict. Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here?
Yes, bailiff?
There's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent.
They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. Okay, so that's one more cliffhanger, which unfortunately is where I'm going to stop the stream for tonight. Because I really need to eat dinner, and I forgot just how absolutely freaking long just this trial portion is, so I'm gonna save the last leg of it for Monday. I appreciate you guys sticking with me, though. Now I'm going to go eat the crap out of some mango habanero wings. Good night, everyone. I will see you later. See you on Monday for the exciting conclusion.